Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. We start off the show with some famous last words from Don Lemon.
Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Yeah. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want.
Okay.
Because I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to believe the same things, whether you want to, whatever. None of this is about justice.
This
is about power. And it's about people who are incompetent.
Yeah, guess what?
Oh, Donnie boy.
You are going somewhere.
The feds are calling.
To jail. Yeah, Don Lemon got arrested at the Grammys. I know.
You stormed a church.
Oh, it's so good.
And now you're gonna pay.
Thank you, God. Thank you for Friday, and thank you for Don Lemon's arrest.
You had a part in that church riot.
Jim Gossett, everybody, right here on a Friday on the Rob Carson Show. Come on.
It won't be long till you're taken away.
I think he'd probably prefer the bottom bunk, not the top bunk.
You're such a hack. It's certain they'll arrest you. You will regret the chaos that you wrought. A bad idea to storm a house of worship.
Yeah, not a good idea there, Donnie.
Oh, Donnie boy. Oh, Donnie boy. You have been caught.
Wow, this gives me goosebumps. Makes me all tingly. Don Lemon, disgraced former CNN anchor, arrested Thursday night in Los Angeles. He was at the Grammys. He's covering the Grammys. He was going to be on the red carpet there, I guess. And he's going to, he's been, according to CBS, the FBI and Homeland Security conducted the arrest in Los Angeles. And he's been charged with, apparently they're looking at what they call the Ku Klux Klan Act, or the enforcement of 1871, which outlaws interfering with civil rights like religious worship and all of that. Of course, he says that he was just covering the story. Here's Don covering the story of a church invasion.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we
Nicki Armstrong of Black Lives Matter, she was arrested too.
Disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now.
One of the people in the church broke her arm, and then the parents tried to get their kids from the daycare, and these guys stopped them from doing it. One little girl asked her dad, "Are we going to die?"
Demanding justice
This is a protest
for Renee Good and letting them know that this will not stand. They cannot pretend to be a house of God while harboring someone who is directing ICE agents to wreak havoc upon our community and who killed Renee Good.
Yeah, here's Nakia Armstrong yesterday talking about her arrest. You better sit down for this, because this is just... This is priceless. This is priceless. She says that because she got handcuffed because she was arrested, that it's the closest. It's the closest she's been to slavery.
We had belly chains around our waist, and we had handcuffs with bars in the middle.
Yeah.
As someone who majored in African American studies, I can tell you that is the closest I ever felt to slavery in my life.
There you go.
Being shackled as if I was a slave.
A slave.
It is unacceptable and unconscionable, but it's on brand for a...
Well, she knows what she's talking about, because she majored in African American studies, which will get you no job whatsoever. So being arrested and wearing handcuffs was the closest she's felt to being a slave. Has she ever been on a ship before? I'm wondering if the last time she was on a ship, if she felt like a slave, because a lot of the slaves came over on ships. I wonder if she had some PTSD for something that happened 170 years before she was born. I wonder if she drove by a field, and she felt close to being a slave because she drove by a farm field in the South. There are a lot of ways I guess you could probably feel like a slave if you really wanted to. But she has a African American studies degree, again, which will get you exactly nothing as far as a job is concerned. Wow. I mean, this is just too good. I just didn't even expect this glorious stuff to happen on this Friday. What a great way to start a Friday. Here's Don Lemon being a reporter in the church with the pastor there.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble.
That isn't journalism. You're spewing nonsense at him just to try to convince him of your viewpoint.
Protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus, because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world, is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me.
Don't push me. Don't push me. He didn't push him, man. You invaded his friggin' church, for God's sake. Here's Don Lemon before the church service, when the people were fleeing in fear.
Watch this guy here, listen. Hugging his kid, and I just imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful. It's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But that's what really careful, please. Really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about, and so
that doesn't sound like reporting objectively. That sounds like you're part of the damn protest. There you go. Well, there you go. Donnie's not going to be attending the Grammys because he got arrested, so there is that. Here's a little bit more from the protest inside the church.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these
comfortable
white people who are living...
I don't think he majored in African American studies.
Lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life.
Maybe pirate studies.
Lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing?
Yeah, that's just a protest. No terrifying things. Yeah, you know what? Screw them. There you go. How about that? Screw them all. That's what I got to say. Honestly, just ridiculous. Oh, I don't know if you do this today. Today is the big walkout. They tried something on the 20th on the inauguration day of Donald Trump, and it was a fart in a Cat 5 hurricane. Nobody did a dang thing. But now that Ilhan Omar is buying it, then the whole country's going to shut down today.
Complacency is what is allowing for this occupation and terror to continue. So we are asking for people on Friday the 30th to pressure this government to get ICE out of our city and our states. We're asking people not to go to work, not to go to school, not spend a single penny. It is really important.
He's asking Somali businesses to shut down today, and I would recommend that you parents in Minneapolis keep your imaginary children from the Somali daycare that doesn't have any children today out of protest. And by the way, how do you shut down a Somali business when 89% of the Somali population in Minneapolis is on welfare?
And for us to have you all stand in solidarity with us,
Really?
our communities
Really?
haven't been able
I'm going to stay home from work. Well, you're not working in the first place.
to actually go to school. They haven't been able to actually go to work. They haven't been able to feed their families and have the resources that they need. And it's really
What,
important
they're not getting food stamps anymore? Not getting government free stuff anymore? What the hell?
to take collective action. It is really urgent for us to have support from everyone in the United States.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Here's another one of these idiots saying they're going to shut down the country today.
We're striking Friday.
Yeah.
All of us,
Yeah.
we are striking Friday.
It would help if you weren't a bunch of idiots.
It's a nation.
You're more likely to have people follow if you're not an idiot.
Nationwide general
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah,
That means you don't go to work.
sure.
You don't
Well,
go
I'm
to
sure you probably don't anyway.
school. You don't
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
all of these things are tied into capitalism.
Capitalism.
It
Okay, see, there you go. There you go. It's communism.
is a socioeconomic system that demands state violence, like what we're seeing in Minneapolis,
Sure,
but also what we
sure.
saw years ago with
Yeah.
Philando Castile.
Oh, okay.
So, on Friday,
Yes.
what are we doing?
What?
We're striking, guys. Great job.
Striking. Oh, it's gonna just shut the economy down. I mean, honestly, why even bother waking up today? Because it's gonna. Actually, it won't make a difference at all, to be quite honest. Because they're just a bunch of morons. There you go. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump nominated Kevin Warsh for a Federal Reserve chair to succeed Jerome Powell, by the way. I'd never heard of the guy before, but Warsh is how they say do the laundry in the upper Midwest. They always say, I'm gonna wash the clothes. They do. That's the thing that I took from that. He's apparently 55 years old and, fairly qualified. I don't have much to say about the guy. I kind of wanted Scott Besson in there. There were a couple of other people that I kind of had, and I honestly kind of thought it would be Kevin Hassett. I wanted Kevin Hassett, and Kevin Hassett has been kind of on the down low, and I was thinking maybe they're keeping him under wraps until he became the Fed chair. But nope. It's Warsh. There you go, Kevin Warsh, and he'll be taking over in May. And if I were you, I'd sit on selling my house until then, because rates are going to come down and it's going to become a seller's market, but it'll also be a buyer's market too, for a number of reasons, because interest rates are going to be lower in the whole deal. Anyway, welcome to Friday, kids. We've got an incredible show lined up. Here's the number, 800-922-6680. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Elon needs a distraction from fraud. Says she was attacked, but that's not the way it happened. A lie. It seems to be a great big lie. Maybe just a ruse to get folks off her back. Victim card Ilhan Omar has played. It is not gonna work. Hey Omar, nice try. You have been exposed.
with the actions he's taken. Jacob Fry is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice Fry's a pose, and while Tim Walz is dozing, city has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud, Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Fry's conducting. Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous. Clown town, once great cities become clown town, clown town.
He's run Minnesota in the ground. Massive fraud Timmy never found. Billions lost. Oh, what a cost. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. He's obstructing ICE every day. He wants illegals to get their way. Out of control. He has no soul. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. Tim is thinking they might impeach him. Should be resigning. For Minnesota, he has done no good. It's sad, so sad. As governor, he's been bad, 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 bad. Many calls for Tim Walz to step down. Minnesota can't afford this clown. Throw him in jail, deny him bail. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. His impeachment is an absolute must. Tim has lost the people's trust. He's gotta go, 'cause we all know, goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble.
Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
The show is everywhere, by the way. It's, of course, on radio stations around the country, hopefully adding some new affiliates. We'll see. I think so. I think it could be happening. And then also streaming on all Newsmax social media. You can see my face every day on Newsmax Rumble and Facebook and YouTube and X and Instagram and the whole deal. So you see me there. People like to see you. They got a lot of these terrific chats that go on in all 5 of these venues. And people getting to know each other, and I'm getting to know their names. I've even met a few who've come here to meet me in Washington, D.C. It's kind of cool. So we're all over the place. All over the place, of course. I'm on social media, on all social media at Rob Carson Show. I put up a bunch of new stuff today about the crazy, insane cat lady Karen, who is now the governor of the state of Virginia. And her unconstitutional election. I'm saying it's unconstitutional because she lied, and the Democrat Party lied about their platform. And when they got into office, they decided to be communists and Marxists. And so I don't think it's going to be legal. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm going to be fighting with other people in this state that I just moved here. And then also I did a video this morning. I used my indoor smoker for the first time. Indoor smoker, I know, it's a GE profile indoor smoker. And I smoked salmon today. And it came out beautifully and smoked, and it didn't smell like smoke in my apartment. It was weird. It was crazy. So Rob Carson Show on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Truth, Getter, I don't know, all over. If you Google me, I'll show up on your toaster. My God, it's crazy. Luigi Mangione will not face the death penalty for allegedly fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Federal judge ruled Friday, delivering a blow to prosecutors who wanted him executed for the cold-blooded, premeditated assassination that shocked America. The judge dismissed 2 of the 4 federal counts against Mangione, murder through use of a firearm which carries a potential death sentence and related firearms offense. I don't care. Have the B-word spend the rest of his life in prison. I'd rather have it that way, actually, because honestly, the death penalty ends up being more of a hassle than anything, to be quite honest. It just does, because it takes forever to get it done, and I think it's better off to keep him in jail for a very long time. That's what I think. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we need a little good news on a Friday.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning, 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 lots of winning. It's oh so good.
President Trump's approval rating among Hispanics rises to +8. Per the latest Rasmussen reports poll, 53% and 53% approval, 45% disapproval. This marks a notable shift of +28 points from the previous month when the net approval stood at -20. So there you go. And it's because of Maduro. It's because Cuba. And when Cuba happens, oh my God, it's over. It's over. It's over. So there you go. That's good news. And then there's this. By the way. It's because Donald Trump's bringing all this manufacturing back to America. You're going to start seeing these labels on your stuff that says made in America. I know. Not made in Taiwan, not made in China. They're going to start making stuff right here. And then, of course, Donald Trump made the tariffs fair because we've been bent over and, the rest of the world's had their way with us with tariffs the last, 50 years or so. And Donald Trump said no mas. So we get this.
We're not done yet, folks. We have the trade balance. This is a November number, and we have to give the administration some credit. This has been going down huge.
Yep.
Expecting minus $44 billion. It comes in at minus $56 billion. More than expected. Minus 56 would be the biggest going back to July of last year when it was basically around 74 with a minus sign.
Wow.
And another notable, in the rearview mirror, minus 29.4 becomes minus 29.2. And boy, that's unbelievable. You know, the last time we had a deficit under $30 billion, equivalent to this, you're going back to 2009.
I know, it's historic. It's pretty cool, and the economy's taking off. I saw a headline that the average person in America this year going to get $1,000 more back on your tax return. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty good news. I still got to do my tax. I got to do all my itemization this weekend. Oh my God, I got receipts because I moved across the country. I got all this stuff. It's going to be a real pain in the butt. But we will see. We will see how it does. Also, the Senate has reached a deal to avoid a partial government shutdown. The Democrat Party, their next thing is, because it was defunding Obamacare the last time, and illegals not getting health care, and so now they moved on to DHS is evil and it's got to be defunded. But the problem is, ICE has been funded through 2029, so there is that. But the Democrats, they want to do anything they can to C-block Donald Trump's economy. They tried it in December, and I don't know if you heard this, but the economy, the GDP grew by 5.5%. So there you go. Oh, by the way, Patrick writes on the YouTube chat, what's the name of that smoker that I like? Well, the one that I'm using indoors is called a GE Profile. So it's an indoor smoke. I didn't even know it existed a couple weeks ago, by the way. Didn't even know it existed, and I got it, and I used it because I've been smoking meats for, not like Don Lemon. I'm talking about, salmon and ribs and butt. No. Again, smoking butt, not the same. Pork butt is what I'm talking about. I've used Traeger's, and I've used Cook Shacks. The indoor is called a GE Profile. Price of gold fell last night. It raised $500 since last week. It's dropped to $4,900. You know why? Because people are selling, profit taking. That's what it's about. What does that mean for you? Well, if you haven't gotten gold, now you just got a break, baby. You just got a break because it was $500 more yesterday, and people decided to sell their gold yesterday since it's raised almost $5,500. And now you've got a break. You got a break. It's going to cost you a lot less today. And then it's going to begin the march again as people want to buy it again. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. Right now, the last day, up to a $10,000 rebate for qualifying purchases. You just got a break. You just got a major discount, people, because people sold off gold yesterday. Price dropped. Now you can jump right in, right there. And that's technically a discount from where it was selling yesterday. How do you like that? Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. That's big news. That's actually really big news. Good news for you as a buyer. Good news for you as a buyer. And if you have some, want to hang on to it, that's all you got to do. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, one of the unusual suspects, joins us next. It's going to be awesome. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Democrats, we call them Karen. They have a whiny voice. They are all pro-choice and mostly barren. They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their minds. These Karens don't like ice. They often pay a price, mistakes they're making. Karenism is their curse. Could go to jail or worse for their law breaking. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who are out of their minds. Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
Greenland is a land that should be our land. That's what I have planned. Plan for Greenland. It is strategic. It's rich in minerals. Greenland was made for you and me. I'd like to own it, but Denmark's wary. Might have to use the military. security it would provide it. Greenland was made for you and me. Once we own it, we could rename it. Could call it Trump Land or even Don Land. It's gonna happen. It will be ours soon. Greenland was made for you and me. Greenland was made for you and me.
We had belly chains around our waist, and we had handcuffs with bars in the middle. As someone who majored in African American studies, I can tell you that is the closest I ever felt to slavery in my life.
That is Nakia Armstrong playing victim. She, of course, raided the church in Minneapolis. St. Paul, actually, along with Don Lemon. Don Lemon in custody. That made me smile. That has made my day, actually. But Nakia says because they put handcuffs on her that it was the closest she'd been to being a slave. Now, I grew up on a farm in Iowa, and I worked fields from about age 9 or 10. Involuntarily, my parents made me do it, so I guess technically I was pretty close to slavery. I don't know if you're going to use that as the bellwether. I'm wondering if Nakia's ever been on a ship, because that might make her real close to slavery too. Joining us on the Newsmax Hotline, one of our unusual suspects, Tony Kinnett. The Daily Signal, of course, does a great radio program and live stream at WICB in glorious Indianapolis, Indiana. How are you today, sir?
I'm fantastic. Any day that I get to wake up and watch the tears roll down and the I guess the curdled bits of Botox roll down from Jennifer Welch's face, it's a good day.
Oh my God. That woman is, wow. She's so crazy the Humane Society would not adopt cats to her. They would not. They'd be, nope, you've got too many.
I thought you were going to say the Humane Society wouldn't take her.
No, they wouldn't. You want to talk about a dog you don't want to adopt. You do not want that in your house.
I wouldn't want that in my yard. My goodness. But yeah, these fools are all acting like this, and this is the best part.
What?
Remember when Steve Baker was arrested for just going into the Capitol, not premeditated, going in after the fact and filming what was going on?
Yeah.
Remember when Kamala Harris sent to the Justice Department in California after someone simply covering Planned Parenthood?
Yeah.
Where was all of this then? Yeah, where was the whining and the crying then?
I know. Well, Chris Plant always says that if it weren't for double standards, Democrats would have no standards at all. So there is that. There is that. Man, there's so much to talk about today. What do you think about this this raid of the voting the ballot center in Fulton County, Georgia? That was got a lot of Democrats, all sorts of freaked out. You'd think it was on the up and up. They're like, come on in, look at them, check them out. Not so much.
Whenever I hear about Fulton County, Georgia, and I hear about this situation, I'm in one position, and I guess that neither side really seems to be quite satisfied with my answer. So maybe you'll be able to help me out here.
What?
I'm just waiting to see, not in a skeptical way, and not in an excited way. I'm just waiting to see.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm like, all right, I hear you. You want to go in there? You want Tulsi Gabbard go in there and knock a few heads around? All right, cool. Well, let me see the ballots then. Let's actually see the evidence. You say it's there. Well, I'm going to hold you to that. You sent the FBI to do a big raid. Admittedly not Melania's underwear drawer this time, so that's a step up.
Sydney Sweeney's underwear drawer, I wouldn't mind so much raiding that. Okay, let's move on. So here is a commissioner in Fulton County. I want you to listen. She's fast talking, which usually means a little nervous here.
Hi, everybody. Listen, I know you're watching the news. You're seeing a lot of stuff about this FBI raid at the Fulton County Elections and Registrations. I'm on the inside right now. So I just want you to be real discerning about all that you're hearing from people who are on the outside.
You know what kind of reminded me of, Tony? You remember Jurassic Park, the movie?
I do, very much.
You remember Wayne Knight when he was going to steal the embryos and he was all nervous?
Yes, I'm going up the machine. I thought maybe I get somebody something because I've had all these sweets and I think I'm going to get something salty. I thought maybe some.
It kind of reminded me of that, actually.
She just looks like, I don't know if the people that are listening to this, not watching on Rumble or something, they can't see that she looks as though Kanye West and one of the Nutcrackers from Christmas had a baby. You see in the world she was wearing?
Yes.
You're wearing a decrepit Post-it note. My goodness. And you're like, I'm on the inside here. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess the electrical equipment is probably inside this time of year. My goodness.
Yeah, it was like a Nehru Nutcracker, I think is what you'd call it.
It's like somebody left a saltine out in the sun too long. Yikes.
What else we got going on here? Well, we got, let's see. What's going on in Minneapolis? You got Tim Lutz. He, of course, is still kind of spewing the, kind of, I guess, hinting at civil war, even though, Tom Homan is in charge there. I had mentioned earlier this week when Donald Trump decided to put Homan in that it was a brilliant chess move, that he was defusing the Democrat rage machine up there and still being, they're still going to turn over the illegals at the jails. They're still going to be doing that stuff. So I thought it was a brilliant move. What are your thoughts on what's going on up there now?
Well, regarding Tom Homan, I've been calling for that for weeks.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been rather frustrated with. Obviously, no one like Chuck Schumer or any of his ilk has any room to talk when it comes to who needs to be replaced or impeached. I would be more than happy to see Kristi Noem swapped out for Tom Homan. So that just be up front. I don't care for Barbie. You and I have talked about this before. Yeah. I don't care who it is. I think, and call me sexist, don't care. I think that a middle-aged man should be in these kinds of positions because we don't have little photo shoot, goofy, giddy nonsense. Sorry, not sorry.
No, I know.
Number two, before we get emails. Number two, I remember saying, hey, we don't know a whole lot about this Alex Preddy situation yet, but before you get out ahead of your skis and call him Mother Teresa, ICU nurse, sweet, lovable kind, all this stuff, I said there's going to be more footage that came out. And I said it on this program. And lo and behold, we got footage that was so damning that showed his character so clearly, him begging for a confrontation with the feds, that they had to claim it was AI, and they have no response still when someone will say, oh, it was AI. And the family has literally confirmed the video's real.
Yeah.
It's got multiple angles. It's hilarious.
And he was getting more and more agitated and more violent by the week. And I like to use the Chihuahua on the other side of the fence of a pit bull as an example because, a little dog is very yippy and they get more angry and more this and more that. And then, of course, you remove the fence and you get your ass kicked, and that's what happened up there. What are your thoughts on the magic loogie that hit Ilhan Omar? Actually, it was just apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar from this guy who was sitting right there in the front row, unvetted. What are you thinking about that?
Everybody else apparently wanted to go in and talk about whether it was staged or not, and that didn't interest me as much because I don't. Yeah, here's why. There were two things that were more important to pull out of that situation. Number one is if that guy would have been shot, that would have been his own fault.
Yes.
Everyone's saying that, oh, well, you only, believe in law enforcement because of the people who were... No, if you were dumb enough to break the law in front of in a high-tense situation, no matter what it is, and you are putting yourself in your life in your own hands. So he would have had it coming if that had happened. Number two, and I'm just going to be real, she then charged the dude.
I know.
Like, I'm going to show you, and I'm like, what on God's green earth? You don't charge someone who is attacking you, you dumb bananas and rice goofball.
Did you see that woman who was arrested who said that she was abused and all that? And she said bananas and rice and all that. And they had her hijab off yesterday and in the arrest photo, and there were no bandages. I'm guessing bananas and rice have miracle healing abilities because she had a hell of a head injury last week.
You better be careful saying that. We're going to see banana and rice supplements advertised on CNN next week.
Well, I got to tell you, if it is found that Elon Omar staged the vinegar attack, she's going to be quite a pickle. She's going to be in quite a pickle.
Again,
not worth
that's
it.
the closest that she's actually gotten to real wine, though.
Yes.
Give her a little bit of credit there. That's about as close as she got.
All right, we're going to get into that a little bit more with Tony Kinnett. I've got a bunch of other stuff we want to get to on the other side. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right, thanks.
Three, 2, 1. Through the winter's ice and cold, down Nicollet Avenue.
Nicollet Avenue.
A city of flame fought fire and ice neath an occupier's boots.
That's Bruce Springsteen, Streets
King
of
Trump's
Minneapolis.
private army from the DHS. Guns belted to their coats.
Wow.
Came to Minneapolis
I
to...
think he should have just stuck with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with, the saxophone and all of that stuff. But there he is. He's come up with a new anthem, Streets of Minneapolis. He did Streets of Philadelphia about 35 years ago with the Tom Hanks movie, and now he's, and of course everything's all of the narratives in Minneapolis are falling apart. Tony Kinnett of the Daily Signal. We were finding out that Renee Good, not so much. We're finding out that this guy, the guy who I'm trying to blank on his name.
Oh, Alex Preddy.
Alex Preddy. He was nuts. His wife left him. There was all sorts of stuff going on. He was fired from his job for a number of things. He was becoming increasingly unhinged. But Bruce Springsteen, of course, decided to come up with a folk song about it, which is ultimately making him going to look like a fool eventually. But go ahead.
So I'm really glad that you didn't just brush past Bruce Springsteen. I thought, man, if he introduces it with Bruce Springsteen and doesn't let me comment on it, I'm going to have to drive to D.C.
I want to set you up, man. I'm here to tee you up.
There's a Saturday Night Live series called The Lawrence Welk Show, in which this really ugly, and I'm Dooney kind of a thing.
Yes.
That's what rhymes this was. Like, they have, like, Will Ferrell come out and go, I like to take walks on the beach if it's within reach. And it's, like, really awful, but it's meant to be that way. Bruce Springsteen saw that and went, write that down. I've seen better rhymes and meter in Dr. Seuss.
I know.
And I'm not even talking.
Listen. Years ago, I remember when George Bush was the president, Green Day came up with an album called "American Idiot," and as stupid as it was,
school, man.
As stupid as the sentiment was, it was written with passion. There were some fairly good songs. Springsteen, this is just like, this is like some sort of an intellectual fart. I mean, there's just nothing there. He's reaching so much. He's like, tell me something about Minneapolis. Nicollet Avenue. I'm going to work that in. Nicollet Avenue.
And it sounds like him trying to say nicotine in a Jewel song in the 90s. It's just awful. But you and I are musicians. We understand this. It's something that bothered me so much.
Yes.
So it's in the key of D is the song.
All right.
And then he goes up to G, goes up to the fourth.
Okay.
And then back down to the first. And then back up to the fourth.
Wow.
There's no fifth. There's no sixth minor.
Yeah.
There's no second minor. Yeah. No variation
I was
at all.
saying the same damn thing. Holy hell, you are reading my mind.
It bothers me. This is a music perspective. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not claiming to be the authority on music, but at least be creative. And I could produce something better than this. Dear sweet Moses in a basket.
This is it's uninspired. It's something that he is writing out of haste because he wants to take part in this movement. He hasn't had any relevance in a very long time. Clarence died, so his concerts aren't very good anymore.
I just don't know at this point what, like, everyone used to make fun of how, like, the only, you had Chuck Norris and Clint Eastwood, and those were really the only major right-wing celebrities. There was that whole Family Guy song with Rush Limbaugh, Republican Town.
Oh, yes.
And that joke has kind of flipped on its head because now you have Natalie Portman, Whoopi Goldberg, and Bruce Springsteen crying every other day while Rosie O'Donnell is over in Ireland getting fatter.
Yes.
Like, that's their lineup.
Yeah.
And then whatever LGBTQ abomination dresses up as a drag queen star. This is, I don't know, Lady Gaga, who knows?
Yeah.
That's what they're bringing forward?
Yeah.
Again, produce good stuff.
Well, and then today, of course, they're all wanting everybody to not work today, right? So that today, I remember on the 20th, the whole country was supposed to walk out and walk into offices of your congressman and say Donald Trump needs to be impeached. That didn't happen. Nothing happened.
You were?
Yeah, on the 20th. No, it was a big deal. They made a big deal out of it. It wasn't a big deal, but they Let me see if I can find the PSA. It was funny as hell. And then today, now Ilhan Omar, who doesn't know when to shut up. Honestly, she's under a lot of heavy investigation. I think she's going to hopefully go to jail or be expelled from the country, for God's sake.
Incest will do that to you.
Yeah, but she's out there shooting her mouth off, and she wants everybody to stay home. And I'm like, how do Somalis stay home from work when they don't work?
Yeah, I gotta level with you, man. I don't really know that you can get out there and say, what are you staying home from? Sure, obviously very, very important.
I know.
But also, I seem to be forgetting, because they just had a day where they crippled their own economy.
Yes.
And they said, everyone stay inside and don't do any business.
Yes.
So they screwed themselves over.
Yes.
Now they're doing this. At what moment are these little movement, excited little boycott activities that they put together going to bear any kind of fruit?
They don't.
Something decent.
They're not built on anything. And by the way, if I were in Minneapolis, I would be keeping my imaginary children from the daycare that doesn't have any children today out of protest. I would. Here's the PSA from the 20th.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
On January 20th, we are walking out to free America.
And walking in to remove the regime.
We're walking out of work, walking out of school.
We're walking out of anywhere and
Did anybody do that, Tony?
That's the most if that was true, that's the most exercise most of these people have gotten in over a decade.
I know. It is. I like to say that the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. And also that conservative comedy is on the ascension because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. And I gut felt the other night, just said, you know what, I'm just done. I'm done with your nonsense. It is all just so over the top, just ultimate nonsense. You yell Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. I hear blah, blah, blah. And that's the way it's becoming. And I'm not concerned. We have to get out and vote. I get it. We have to be motivated. I get it. But nobody wants to follow these people into battle.
And that's one of the reasons why it is so important when they're so interested in acting crazy that right now people on the right need to act normal. Because remember the Biden administration, they fell for this too. They thought, we'll just act crazy. And it was a bad move. Yeah. So again, this is why I'm satisfied with Tom Homan. He walks in there and says, I've served 6 presidents, you're all stupid. And, 7:30 a.m. press conference, suck it, I have work to do.
He just looks like the guy who's the commissioner in CSI Minneapolis. I mean, he really does. He's so calm and cool, and you cannot argue with this guy. He's just...
I told you.
Oh, brother.
I told you we needed a Kurt Signetti.
I tell you, between you and me, we're like 150% right all the time. I swear to God. It's crazy.
It's got to be exhausting for the audience. All they have to do is cheer.
All they do. All right, that's going to do it for our segment today, brother. Where can people find your glorious podcast and whatnot?
You can find us on the Daily Signal on YouTube or Rumble, and you can follow me on Twitter if you have to, but that's for masochists only.
All right, very good. Talk to you soon, brother. God bless. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. As always. God, he's so fun. He is just fun. Hi, guys. What's going on? What do we got here? Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Eric Harding. Hello, Eric. Al Edelman. Are you new? Good to see you. Also, Paolo Catasti. This guy is such a stupid bigot. Who are we talking about? Are you talking about me? Because if you're talking about me, then we will have to go after you like calves, like piranhas on the calves' legs. Lemon's cavity search revealed a gerbil graveyard. No. That's Brian Duffy. Brian says Lemon's cavity search revealed a gerbil graveyard. They're going to do DNA so they can reunite the families with their... Brian also says the apple vinegar was to deaden the goat smell. Man, you are on top of it today, bruh. You are on top of it. Chaim Padam is joining us today on the... Don Lemon entered a black church. Well, if Don Lemon would have entered a black church, they would have broken his jaw and his ribs, and he'd not been able to call them racist. Wow. You guys over there on Facebook are kicking some serious butt. Maggie Hastings, Sabrina Pinkadono, whatever, on the YouTube. It's good to have you there. My Rumbly Roos. How are you guys today? Good to see you there. Good to see you joining us today. Hope you're enjoying the show. Here we go. Hold on. What am I going to talk about? I got to figure out what I'm talking about. How much time I got, Brian? Not much time. Oh, no problem. 3, okay. Come on. It is a Rob Carson show. Apropos of nothing, I'm going to play you something real quick here. I listen to a lot of good music, and I was thinking about this morning because sometimes I just put little screenshots of my Spotify playlist in the car. And I found somebody online here named Thorbjorn Reisiger and the Black Tornado. He's a blues band, and this is his song.
Heart full of sorrow, well said a miss.
This is my latest addiction.
My soul's a mystery, all the words cannot express.
It's called Last Train.
Some say it's sunshine, some say it's rain. Rode up the easy way, gone down on a midnight train.
Real quick here.
And I feel like I'm riding on the last train. Feel like I'm riding on the last train.
Okay, there you go. That's all I'm going to give you. Thorbjorn Reisiger. Just try to Google it. Thorbjorn Risager. I listen to a lot of new music. Ray, I've been listening to Ray. I know I'm the last person you'd expect to listen to Ray. She's got a song called Where the Hell is My Husband? She's up for a bunch of Grammys. You got to listen to her. She's like Amy Winehouse meets Adele meets Beyonce meets, I don't even know. She's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I share that because music is such a passion. Such a passion to me, by the way, in case you didn't know. Let's see. Tim Waltz, he says that he's never going to run for public office again. Did you hear this?
We're already doing it. Do you regret jumping out before such a consequential moment?
No, and part of it was to look. I recognize that I'm a lightning rod, and this is a tough. It's a tough space for I'm in.
You're a lightning rod. You're a tool.
I know they hate me personally, and they take it out on my constituents because
he's a lightning rod.
White guys who are former governors tend to land on their feet okay, type of thing. But in all fairness, on the timing, I removed myself, and then 2 days later, Renee Good is murdered. But I think one of the things is I have no political consideration. Will never run for an elected office again.
Never again.
Never again. And
Amy Klobuchar is going to run for governor. I hope and pray she doesn't win. If that's the case, then Minnesotans are dumber than I could ever imagine. But there's the possibility she could name him senator, which would be even more laughable. That's that. Okay, so we got hour number 2 of the show. Mary Walter's going to join us. We got some unbelievable news about Fulton County, Georgia, and Russia collusion. Guess who came up with it? Oh, you're going to be not surprised, actually, but it's big. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to it. Come on in, send us bell. We've got 2 more hours of the show today. Mary Walter's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Tulsi Gabbard releases documents that prove it was Barack Obama who led the Russiagate conspiracy. I've got details coming up on this. Brian Stelter, stop it, is really mad that Don Lemon got arrested.
I think I view this in context with Trump administration attempts to target other perceived critics.
He doesn't have a job either.
Think about Letitia James. Think about James Comey. Think about the many cases we've covered in the past year.
Think about James O'Keefe, Nick Sortor, Nick Shirley, Cam Higbee, Andy No. How about those, Tubby?
Of Trump retribution. Don Lemon is another figure on that list. President Trump has repeatedly attacked Lemon, both when Lemon was an anchor here at CNN. Yeah. But again,
he's not an anchor at CNN anymore because he did such a terrible job. He did a terrible job. He's not a journalist. He's not a journalist at all. Neither are you.
Recently, Trump has made no secret of his disdain for Lemon, and Lemon, of course, has been harshly critical.
Yeah, well, you see, what you're missing there is Lemon took part in the storming of a church and terrifying the congregants. Yeah, so there's that there, Brian.
Critical of President Trump for many years as well. So he is a Trump foe, and this is another example.
Yeah, Donald Trump had nothing to do with it at all. He brought it on himself by charging into a church and terrifying the crap out of people. So there you go. There is that. And then there's another one. Federal agents just showed up at another fake journalist, Georgia Fort. And she was a part of that cabal who raided the church. And by the way, Don Lemon bought the activists donuts and coffee. There is that. And then, of course, he followed him right in and, made threatening statements to congregants and the pastor of the church as well. So Don Lemon, he's an activist. He's not a journalist. That should be very obvious to anyone who's paying attention. And, I didn't play this the other day. This is pretty funny. Nicki Minaj, she trolled Don Lemon the other day. And Nicki Minaj, of course, was at the White House. And now she's being attacked by Jimmy Kimmel. Like, who cares? But here's what she did to Don Lemon in her own style. It's actually really
Order
good.
in the court, please. Miss Judge on the mic.
Unlike Bruce Springsteen's new song, this is pretty brilliant.
Bring the choir in. Ay, Don Lemon in the back row, fake fur, tight pants, and a weak glow. Trying to preach, but he reading from a talk show. Facts all wobbly, stunting for the B-roll. Oh, you ain't Peter, you ain't Paul. Those are just the guys you cracked at the mall. Right before you pulled up at a church hall. Don't blame the Christians and act appalled. Sunday service, families made prayer. Here you come, put my mic on air. Turn the pulpit to a press event. Now the bailiff taking evidence. Don Lemon, why you so bitter? Crying like a little bitch on Twitter. Unwatchable like Jennifer Welch. Gonna have to start a new show from a...
That is actually very good political satire. That was really, really smart. That was really, really good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nicki Minaj, I'm not a big fan of Nicki Minaj. Oddly enough, I listen to a lot of hip-hop. I listen to a lot of rock. I listen to a lot of blues. I listen to a lot of standards, country. I listen to everything. But number 3 on my playlist is hip-hop. I've just, some of the old school stuff, Public Enemy, Rage Against the Machine, whatever. But anyway, I've been kind of enjoying it, a lot of it actually. And this is Nicki Minaj, of course, the other day at the White House when Donald Trump came up with these savings accounts for Gen Alpha, which is going to make Social Security, a broken and bankrupt system, obsolete for them.
I am probably the president's #1 fan. The hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's a big deal. And you can tell it's over the target because people like Jimmy Kimmel are making fun of her in the most racist way.
And a very special guest, a woman who has recently emerged as one of the president's most unlikely fans.
There's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And,
Now, the thing that Kimmel does here is he is mocking someone who has a righteous position, which just makes you into a bully and a punk. Mockery is meant for those who deserve mockery. If you're mocking someone who is righteous, it's like, whatever, I don't know, a religious figure being prosecuted and they're in the stocks and people are throwing rotten vegetable at them. It's like Joan of Arc, right? And throwing and mocking, ridiculing her as she's burned at the stake. I'm not saying she's Joan of Arc, but if you are mocking someone who is in a more righteous position, you're just a bully and a buffoon.
There she is. She's right.
She didn't do anything mockable. She supported Donald Trump and his these child savings accounts for kids.
Here, the black woman, the only black woman in the whole room, that's her. I think Trump's looking for a Nicki Minaj à trois because she really seems to dig him. This is one of his strangest bedfellows yet. I mean, where is Cardi B with a fistful of shoes when you need her?
See, now you just look like an idiot, to be quite honest. Here's Donald Trump last night at the premiere of Melania. I didn't get a chance to make it over to the Trump Kennedy Center. I'm going this weekend, by the way. I'm going Saturday night. I'm going to see Adam Carolla. I usually don't pay for tickets. I'm like, you know what the hell? Let's go see Adam Carolla. Help him out. But here he is, Donald Trump talking about Nicki.
What was it like having Nicki Minaj in the Oval Office? Nicki Minaj is fantastic. She's a terrific person. She was so nice, and she understands, what we're doing with the Trump accounts. We're helping children grow up. When they're 18 years old, they're going to have a lot of money. They're going to be rich.
And when Democrats see Nicki Minaj, they see just a black person. They also are threatened that this is going to impact the black vote. They've been able to secure the black vote, convince black people that they were on the side of black people for the last 60 years when, in fact, they're destroyed the black community in America's inner cities and whatnot. So they only see her as a threat to their domination of the black vote. Problem is, probably 60% of her audience are white people. It's just true. Jessica Tardlove over on Fox. Dear God, when you watch her, when she opens her mouth, I've got to mute it. Because you're just like, whatever she said, she could be reading a cookie recipe. Like, put in the chocolate chips and then add the cashews and then and you'd be like, oh God, I would never eat another cookie again if I had to listen to that voice. So she decides to call Nicki Minaj's appearance at the White House a Black Swan event, okay? But she didn't want to call it a Black Swan event because that's racist. I know, it's so stupid. Here she is getting called out for that stupidity.
Nicki Minaj, Greg already talked about these celebrities. They're like, it's a swan event when it happens, and so it deserves a lot more attention.
You can say Black Swan. It's
okay. I felt like maybe it was racially weird because she's...
because she's black. Wow. Is that how the Democrat mind thinks?
To not be offensive?
No, to not be crazy and woke.
No, whatever. That doesn't matter.
You don't want to say Black Swan event when there's a black person. Do you know how racist that is? How stupid is it? Don't say he drives a black car. My God, do not, because that would be racist. Do not say that, Diddy arrived in a black car. They're just so unbelievably stupid. This is why I say that the Democrat Party is just doing a death spiral into hell. It's just absolutely magnificent. It's magnificent. It is magnificent. Here is, by the way, should I move here? Hold on. I want to move on to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, a little bit more of him last night at the premiere of Melania. We'll talk to Christian Toto about the movie Melania. It looks very interesting. It looks really pretty cool, actually. But here is Donald Trump being asked about what's going on in Iran last night at the Melania parade.
Have you had any conversations with Iran in the last few days, and are you planning on any?
I have had, and I am planning on it, yeah. We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now. And it would be great if we didn't have to use them. Okay?
Can you say what the message was that you shared with Iranians?
Well, I told them two things. Number one, no nuclear. And number two, stop killing protesters. They're killing them by the thousands. I stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago. But they're going to have to do something.
All right, we'll see about that. I'm hoping that the Iranian regime, the Ayatollah can't stay in power anymore. We need help from other people like Israel and even Germany. Here is Donald Trump talking about Cuba.
I don't know. The word choke off is awfully tough. Cuba is a failing nation, and you have to feel badly for Cuba. They've treated people very badly. We have a lot of Cuban Americans who really were treated very badly, and they'd probably like to go back. And no, I'm not trying to, but it looks like it's something that's just not going to be able to survive. I think Cuba will not be able to survive.
And you can say goodbye to the Hispanic vote there, Democrats, when Cuba falls. There you go. Here is Donald Trump finally being asked by reporters about Melania being paid and getting a movie deal, right? Suddenly it's really bad. I mean, but a lot of other people have gotten movie deals, podcast deals, and whatnot.
Say to those that are critical of the fact that Amazon paid $40 million to acquire the rights of this movie.
Well, I think they'd have to go and ask President Obama, who got paid a lot of money and hasn't done anything. So I think they probably have to go because if you take a look at others, they've been paid a lot of money. But this is somebody, Melania, who really produced. She's done a great thing. This is a very important piece of work.
Yeah, and also Melania, unlike Michelle Obama, is a likable and listenable and viewable person, and is more interesting than Michelle Obama, the bitter, awful woman with a racial chip on her shoulder who's never done anything but be a spoiled, entitled brat. She got paid hundreds of millions of dollars for podcasts and stuff that nobody watches or listens to. So there is that. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I am woman, not a man, despite this new transgender ban. Though my voice is deep and I've got facial hair, they banned me, but I'll be back. Bravery I do not lack. You don't have to tell me to grow a pair. Oh yes, I'm a girl. Against women I compete. People wanna hurl when I win another meet. Swimming medals, I will steal all of them. I have a beard. I've got testicles. I am woman. Venus says that I can't swim. They claim that I am a him. But I'll be back. Just you wait and see. Oh yes, I'm a she. I even wear a dress, though it's no mystery. The whole package I possess. But they banned me from everything. I have a brawn. I have a prostate gland. I am woman. Free in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying. She says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
WCBM.
Get a rejoin.
Diggy.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is a Rob Carson Show. Here's Dan Bongino talking about the clown show in Minneapolis.
These guys are clowns. Before people like Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump with that go-get-em boys attitude where you get these bad guys off the street came into power, you know, they had to clean up the mess from these clowns running their cities the way they did. But to hear Walls talking, let me show you what real cops do.
Sure.
Well, I know what real cops do. Real cops would do real cop stuff, more real cop stuff, if people like Tim Walz and others would let them be real cops. The President of the United States, under his first year, we just had the lowest number of homicides in recorded history. Not only that, the percentage drop from last year, which understandably was still pretty low, was also a record number. That was under this administration. Why? Because he let cops be cops and he let us go get the bad guys and he shut down the border. It's not freaking rocket science, man.
From Jim Gossett as the president on the Rob Carson Show.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Bright is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice fries are posing while Tim Walz is dozing. City has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud. Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Price conducting. Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous, clown town. Once great cities become clown town. Clown town.
Jim Gossett. Just go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, and help him out. Tulsi Gabbard releases documents that prove it was Barack Obama who led the Russiagate conspiracy and the coup against Donald Trump. The documents reveal it was Barack Obama, CIA leadership, FBI, at the time to sabotage President Donald Trump before he even stepped into the Oval Office. Obama did this knowing the entire story was manufactured. Not a word of it was true. Up in the CIA vault almost a decade, now it's clear that Obama doctored information to make it look like Putin and his buddy Donald Trump stole the election. I said from the very beginning it was ridiculous because Russia had no compelling interest to work with Donald Trump. He was a hawk on defense, hawk on natural resources. I said it as it was happening. Tulsi Gabbard said in an interview with Emily Jasinski, we have deferred and will continue to refer all these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implication of this. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly to the president, directly points to President Obama leading the manufacturing of the intelligence assessment. Man, wouldn't it be cool to see that son of a gun go to jail? It certainly would. Here is Michael Schellenberger. He's a liberal, and he was talking about the origins of the Russia collusion hoax.
These are people that are close to the House intelligence investigation of how the Russia collusion hoax began. The story, as you mentioned, was that, we were just informed by foreign intelligence about this.
Bullcrap.
Our sources tell us a very different story, which is that this was initiated by the U.S. government. It came from within the U.S. government's intelligence community, including the CIA.
Told you.
That they asked the so-called Five Eyes nations intelligence agencies, that's the other English-speaking nations, including Britain and Australia, to spy on 26 Trump associates, or at least they had a list of the 26 associates that were identified. This is new information. Some people have...
This is the most foul thing I've ever heard, other than, of course, Jack Smith allowing hundreds of conservatives, including senators, members of Congress, to be surveilled without a warrant.
Theorized about this and speculated about it. We feel very confident that our sources were in a position to know and are very credible in this report. And it's obviously a very serious allegation because this is illegal spying and it's illegal election interference.
And what do you suppose they were looking for when they raided Mar-a-Lago?
But obviously, if this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government, initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it, then that's extremely serious information. And it may be, if the FBI then went to go get it in order to continue the cover-up of this information, that obviously adds an even more dramatic wrinkle to this. Again, we'll have more to say about it tomorrow, but this is a huge, huge story. I mean, I've been thinking about it in the history of the United States of America. Have we ever had something like this where the intelligence community was weaponized against a political candidate and using our foreign allies to do it? I can't think of a more important or dramatic story.
They threw everything at him, and the only person who could have survived this was Donald Trump. That's it. Dan Bongino, listen to this. Now that he's no longer at the FBI, listen to what he discovered.
And I was reading through some stuff that you can only read in the office, and it just involved basically the collusion hoax, Crossfire Hurricane, as it went by, and the various other spin-offs. And when you read from the inside, Sean, when you see the details of what these just absolute animals did to President Trump, and the barriers that broke down and the guardrails, it was
evil.
I mean, I'm not shocked often, Sean. I'm really not. I'm not, again, I'm not trying to put on some faux set of armor. I'm just not shocked often. I've lived 1,000 lifetimes between the Secret Service, the NYPD, running for office, TV shows, and all this other stuff. Just reading through it and seeing it in detail for the first time all put together, you can't run a republic like this. No. You can't. Wow. You absolutely cannot. It was just stunning how all these guardrails broke down at the exact same time, and nobody there. Thank God there wasn't. It was and still is a long-ranging investigation into this stuff, because it's just frightening how no one thought to speak up and say, "Hey, man, not only is this wrong, this is like demonic. This is evil stuff."
Oh, yeah. And again, Donald Trump is the only person who could survive it. He is. And look what's being exposed. Look at the graft, the corruption. Look at the looting of our treasury happening. Look at the enrichment of our politicians at our expense. Look at all of this. Look at this. This is what they were afraid of. They were afraid of they called it retribution. They tried to make it like, if Donald Trump gets in office, there'll be retribution. You bet your ass there's going to be retribution. I'm going to call it that. It's not just accountability. It's payback. It's payback, people. Yeah, payback is a Hillary. Yeah, payback is a Michelle Obama. You call it whatever you want. Payback is a Don Lemon, at least when he's in jail. Anyway, the one and only Mary Walter joins us on the other side of this break, one of our unusual suspects on a Friday. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
2, 1.
Mary, why you bugging?
Thought we'd shake it up a little today. Come on.
Mary, I need you hugging.
Run just sounds good. Mary Walter, how are you on this glorious Friday?
I'm doing fantastic. I like that. I like a little change up. That's very nice. Thank you.
I love that song that Run DMC was. It's kind of strange. One of the genres that I listen to most on my music playlist is hip hop. I like a lot of hip hop. I don't like some of the new crap. I don't like the violent stuff. But there's some very, very, I don't know, innovative, like Public Enemy. They were very innovative. They were really amazing. Run DMC, really amazing, all of that. But anyway, I wanted to shake it up a little bit. You survived the storm in New Jersey. You guys going to get any more this weekend, or are you out of it?
We're just getting the wind. We're getting like 50 mile an hour winds. At the shore, you get 50 mile an hour. That's nothing. So we're used to that. But no, we're just going to get a dusting. So
I'm going to start with.
We already have all this. We still have all the other snow on the ground. So.
Oh, it is here in Northern Virginia, across from Washington D.C. We had like 10, 12 inches of snow, and then it rained. So none of the sidewalks have been cleaned off, and you are walking on ice. It is really, actually quite brutal here. Quite brutal.
Well, you're not. You guys aren't cut out for it.
No,
so there's that. Like you have to have your sidewalks cleared within 24 hours. Blah 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 blah.
It ain't happening here. It ain't happening here. What do you think about these unhinged nurses and anesthetists who are going online, destroying their careers by saying they're not going to treat Trump? I mean, it's bad enough that you possess those thoughts. You have those thoughts as someone who is a nurse, like saying that you would inject a paralytic drug into an ICE officer, or spray him with poison ivy, or not perform anesthesia. But to do it online, I mean, aren't you kind of glad they're being drummed out of the medical industry?
Well, okay, so it's wild that we're talking about this, because I spoke about this yesterday on one of the shows I did last night, and trying to find out, like, I cannot, and I find it absolutely fascinating. Like, National Geographic, are they still around? They got to get on this. Because this, to me, is like camp out in a duck blind and just watch these people in their natural habitat to find out what went wrong with them.
Yes.
Right? Because something happened. The only thing I can think of, this is my current working theory, because this is so phenomenally stupid. There's zeros. They have no self-control whatsoever. There is zero self-control, which is amazing. One of them was a doctor, an anesthesiologist, which make good bucks, who said, I own my own business. I'm not going to be, you can't tell me what to do. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not administering drugs to MAGA. Blah, blah, blah. And he lost his license in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Right, he's gone. But here's the thing. I don't know if you lose it in Florida, do you lose it nationwide? I don't know. And that's what scares me. Yeah. And it's also, if they see that there is actual consequences, is it going to drive them underground? That's I kind of like them, letting their freak flag fly, because then we know who they are, right?
But I don't know.
Like how I've always wanted to.
But doesn't this make you kind of concern yourself if you want to wear a MAGA shirt into a clinic? I mean, honestly, it's that freaking nuts. My doctor is a conservative, by the way. He's an Iranian expat, and I share my opinions with him all the time. He shares them with me. But this is just sick. This is an illness. This is a severe illness.
Well, my current working theory is that there's something in the COVID vax, because these people, have had 18 boosters by now, maybe more, right? Yes. So there's some kind of drug that needs to just be renewed on the regular, so they just keep getting their vaccine, because they're keeping everyone safe in this way. They're not going to die because they care about people, and there's something in there that is eating at their brains. The woke mind virus. That's all I can think of.
Not much of a brain to begin. What do you think about Don Lemon getting arrested? That put a smile on my face this morning.
It did. It did put a smile on my face. So apparently this went to that judge said no, right? And then it went to a 3-judge panel.
Yeah.
But one of the judges on the panel felt that there was something here, like this was wrong, and they got it in front of a grand jury, and they indicted him. Like they so that's what happened. He clearly colluded with these people. He even says it in the video.
Yeah.
He was not there as a journalist. No. He was there as an activist. He helped them plan it.
He bought them donuts and coffee.
Right, exactly. And this is a violation of the FACE Act, which President Pudding Pants was merrily putting people in jail for years at a clip for praying outside of abortion clinics.
Meanwhile, nobody gave a crap about Andy No. Right?
About who?
You know Andy No, the journalist who was attacked by Antifa.
Andy, I thought you said Andy Nome, and I thought, is that Christy Nome's
No. He's a guy who stands in my yard. He's very still.
You're right. No one cared about him. Yes.
Did you hear about this Minnesota man, 36-year-old Mark Anderson? Wow, from Minnesota, named Anderson. Imagine that. Of Mankato, he went to the to try to break out Luigi Mangione, and he pretended to be an FBI agent. He was armed with a pizza cutter and a barbecue fork.
Yeah, this is why we need to open the institutions, okay? Because they would just put him in a straitjacket, and they're like, we're gonna go to camp. You're going to a farm upstate, and then they would just cart him off. Because I don't know this goes back to your first question. What the hell is happening?
Yeah. It's a mania. There's an expression, and it's if you believe. Well, I'm drawing a blank on it. Of course, right when I'm talking to you. But if you believe absurdities, if you believe in absurdity, you will commit an atrocity. That was Voltaire. Voltaire said that, and it's true. If you believe in absurdity, you'll commit an atrocity. If you believe that Donald Trump is a Nazi, you'll try to kill him. If you believe that the Jews are, the root of all evil, you will send them to concentration camps. This is what it is, Mary.
Or if you say a lie, what was it, Goebbels? If you say a lie long enough and loudly enough, it will become a truth. This is exactly what's been playing out in this country.
Let's move on. The states where you're most likely to die from an animal attack. Would you like to guess which one is number one on the list?
I would say Alaska, but there's not enough people there to interact with the animals. So it's not Alaska. I'm going to go with something like Colorado.
It is Texas. Texas is the place you're most likely to get killed by something poisonous or whatever. California, second, just because you'll likely burn to death in your home because of Gavin Newsom's poor quality of maintaining the water supply. Florida, third place. Tennessee and North Carolina there. Stings from hornets, wasps, and bees represented 31% of all animal-related deaths, 28% of casualties caused by other mammals. There you go. And dogs were involved in 70 or 26% of the deaths. There you go. So there you go.
Yeah. I wonder if liberals are included in their death by liberal. Death by blue, something that has blue hair and preens its feathers in the wild. This is why people say, "Oh, move south. I'm moving south." I'm like, yeah, but you know what? There's no winter to clean out the really predator type things. Like if you go to the north, or you go to like Montana, Wyoming, something like that. It's like moose and bear, and you can carry. So at least you'll see them coming.
There you go. Exactly. Now on the other side of the break here, I have some more stories for you, not related to politics and whatnot. There is a new company that allows you to pick the best baby, so you can disregard embryos that have certain traits. Sounds a lot like eugenics. A girl jailed for using a pork chop as a weapon. And do women find men with large manhood more attractive? Yes or no? A definitive study on the other side of the break. How's that sound?
Oh boy. All right.
Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. It is a Rob Carson Show, Friday edition. One of our unusual suspects, as I like to call them, is Mary Walter, who is a regular on this here radio program. Also, go to Mary Walter Radio. She's all over the place. She gets podcasts and everything. And I'm going to be down there eventually, but Mary Walter, a lot of stuff going on.
You've been on.
Yeah, the last time I was making pasta. I was very distracted.
Well, because you forgot, and
I know.
You were late. You did. Well, very quickly, before we go anywhere, I just saw, did you see Catherine O'Hara died?
No.
Yeah, 71 years old. Cause of death is unclear, but I loved her as Moira Rose. She was my favorite. I absolutely loved her. Beetlejuice. I
my God,
Are we
yes.
even allowed to say the name of the show that she was Moira Rose on? I don't know. Can we say that on the air?
What is it? Oh, is it Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
We can say that. It's perfectly fine. It's the name of the...
Because it's spelled
Yes.
differently. It's
you.
the name of the town.
So, yeah, honestly, you know, I get so tired of the, you know, people get all butthurt, when you, listen, I say more curse words when I put together a piece of IKEA furniture than you will hear in 20 years of broadcasting. And
you're
yet,
buying IKEA furniture, so there's that.
Somehow, you know, you can say some words, and you can say, it's just kind of stupid. You know, like you could say vinegar, but if you take the vin off the front of it, it's a terrible word. You know, and if you say there are a lot of, it's just kind of stupid.
Okay, well,
I don't use that word.
I didn't want to.
But Catherine O'Hara, she was the mom in Home Alone.
Yes.
She was on
she was in Beetlejuice.
SCTV, where she got her start. God dang it, 71 years old?
Yeah, cause of death unknown.
Best of show. Anyway. Best of show alone.
Best of show.
Oh, my God.
With Eugene Levy.
Girl, Best of Show is one of the best damn movies. I mean, it's like a dog show Spinal Tap.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's the same people. You know,
my God.
It was, a lot of it was the same people involved. So I didn't mean to change the direction of this segment, but someone just texted me, and so I had to share it with you.
No, she's worthy of mentioning for sure. Catherine O'Hara, God bless her. Really makes me sad. I really loved her. I mean, just so diverse about everything and so perfect in every damn role she did.
I wanted to be her in Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. I wanted to be her.
Oh my God.
That character is that's who I want to be. I want to be that character.
If you haven't seen that show, I used to binge watch that show with my kids and my ex.
The best show.
And it is a freaking hilarious show. And Eugene Levy is my idol, just one of my idols for comedy. Yep. I mean, right up there with Steve Martin. And they're perfect together. And they've been working together for 45, 50 freaking years. Since SCTV. Since the best thing that came out of Canada. Thank you very much. Wow.
So I'm sorry. I didn't.
No. I'm glad you brought it up, actually. With you, I like to talk about a lot of stuff here. Brave New World IVF company, you can pick your own baby. It's there's this baby company. It's called Nucleus IVT. That doesn't sound sinister, does it? Apparently, if you have an electronic menu of up to 20 embryos that they have conceived, allowing them to view the sex of each baby, their anticipated hair and eye color, and predictions about height, as well as other risks for various diseases and whatnot. Then the people can choose which embryo they want to use. Is this eugenics?
Okay, so I don't know if I don't know. When you first said this, I was like, so I could take someone else's baby?
No.
Like I don't like the one I have?
No.
Because if I can pick it after it's born, like maybe that would be a thing. Because if mine comes out looking like, oh boy, this isn't going to be good, you could pick like a better looking baby or something.
But if you look at a baby, an embryo. This is a fertilized embryo, still frozen.
Right.
That kid could get like ALS. Would you want to have that baby?
Well, you're not going to know. You're not going to know.
But what if you can see it? What if there's a genetic marker?
Well, you can do genetic testing now in the womb.
Yeah, I suppose. But
they do
that's after the baby's been
test.
conceived, though. That's the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. And then you can decide. But the problem with this that I don't like is that the United States is one of the few countries where there are actually Down syndrome babies born anymore.
I know. They have this is the only group in the world where eugenics and genocide is still taking place. They are wiping out people in the world who are some of the most wonderful people you could ever meet, people with Down syndrome. It is ridiculous. So
that part of it, that I've seen where this goes.
Yeah.
So I don't like this. Now, if you're going to have a child who is going to, live a horrible life or always be in pain, or I can see why some people want to do genetic testing for certain things.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know even if I found that out, if I would have it in myself to be able to abort that child, that embryo at the time, or the child, the fetus, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to do it because I don't believe that God gives you more than you can handle, and I don't believe God makes mistakes.
Okay.
So
all right.
Even
with me, even looking at me.
Yeah, but see, that may be something you developed into. You didn't start out this way.
Pretty much. All right, let's move on. Final story.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
New study says that women find men who are better endowed more attractive. This is a new study here. Apparently, they found that attracts mates and helps to threaten rivals like deer's antlers and lion's manes, is what they're saying. They asked women to look at male participants. They discovered men who were rated taller with V-shaped upper body and larger, more attractive. Do you have any comments about that, Mary Walter?
So if he comes with an endowment, is what you say? So
he comes with an endowment. It's kind of like it's kind of like a dowry.
I love a man with a big wallet. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It is the size of his wallet and the number of bills he keeps rolled up in it. You are exactly right.
Tall. Women want tall men. We all know that. We're superficial in that way.
Yes.
We want tall men, and really tall men always want little women that they can just carry around. Have you ever said that? Always happens. They always pick a 5-footer, and he's 6'7".
In other words, women want the whole package, is what you're trying to tell me.
No, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't know that. I don't buy this. I think
how are you going to know?
And fit.
How are you going to know?
Tall and fit is with an endowment is way better than what you are referring to as being endowed.
Yes. Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
That's all I'm saying.
Where can people find your podcast and your glorious presence online?
Yes, I am on Newsmax a whole bunch, so just look there. Just follow me on X, Mary Walter Radio, no S, and my live cast is on Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You can participate, ask questions, leave comments. Just look for Mary Walter Radio on Rumble, YouTube, Getter. Audio's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. This week's guest, or next week's guest, Tuesday's guest, is Chris Tremoli from the Washington Times.
Wow, that took half the segment. Thanks for being on.
Do not even, seriously.
I'll talk to you Monday, or next week, I should say. Have a glorious weekend, okay?
You too.
All right, let's take a break and come back. It's the Rob Carson Show. All right. Hello, guys. All right. My face is a little red. I think women, you probably want a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's a game ender, right? Because there's other stuff that makes as much as a difference. There are other ways the men can make up for that. Whatever, anyway, won't get into it. There you go. She's always fun to have on. Hello, Melissa McGrine. The sign of his alphaness. There you go. Oh, yeah, love Blazing Saddles. Hell yeah. Brian, did you see that I watched History of the World last night? It was it's not as good when you're not watching with other people and you're not inebriated. But Gregory Hines was friggin' amazing. Oh, my God. It's good to be the king. Jamie, hello. What's up going on over there? Sharon Jacques. Nice to see you watching on the YouTubeage. How my Rumbly Roos doing? Blazing Saddles. Yep, love Blazing Saddles. All right, let's move on down here. I had mentioned earlier the music I've been listening to, and this some of the music has been it's really, really good. And Thorbjorn Reisiger, he's a phenomenal blues artist, just phenomenal. I've also been listening to Ray, R-A-Y-E, Where the Hell is My Husband? And she's got another song called Grandma Says the Boy Is Bad News. It's like Dusty Springfield meets Amy Winehouse. It's bloody good. Ray, look up Ray. She's going to win a lot of Grammys this year. I'm not going to watch the Grammys, but she's going to win a lot of Grammys. Dookie Bear says, there you go, Rob. That's what I've been asking you to play for Mary. I did it a long time ago. Oh, I got to talk.
At 2:40.
Oh, come on, Jimmy and Robert and John Paul. Come on. So, gold is down today. It got up to almost $4,500 yesterday. Now it's down to 48. You're going, what the hell? Oh, no, this is such a brilliant opportunity. The reason why is because yesterday it was getting up about $4,500, and a lot of people who've been sitting on their gold said, let's get out. Let's get out. If you didn't buy a year ago and it was $2,600, $2,900, see, those who did decided to sell yesterday. Because yesterday, the gold went up $500 the last week. It went up $500 an ounce the last week. People decided to sell. This is a freaking opportunity for you. This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. Get in now at $4,800. Get in now at $4,800. The market is going to readjust. You've got a little bit more gold on the market, but guess what? It's going to get bought up, and then it's going to go boom again. It's going to. That's my prediction. You know why? Because that's the way it usually happens. That's the way it happens. So listen, and it's kind of cool because I got on the horn on Monday, and I said I want to send my this little 401k I had and convert it into gold. Guess what? They didn't buy it until this morning. The check didn't get mailed till this morning, so I got it at $4,800. Yesterday, it was at $55. I just saved $700 an ounce. Ugh. So this is perfect. You got a chance. You have been watching it go up and go up and go up, and now you've got a chance. Today, text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Today's the last day to qualify for up to $10,000 in a rebate with qualifying purchases. Today's your opportunity. You got a break. You got a $700 break. And now's the time. If you've been waiting, it was getting up there at 55, you're going, oh my God, what am I going to do? You got the chance. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. It's a company that I trust. They have my money. You know it. Blah, blah, blah. You've heard it a million times. I don't talk to hear my head rattle here, people. I do not. All right, so coming up, we got a crazy cat lady as the governor in the state of Virginia. Not uncommon around the country. There are several of them, New Jersey and also in Oregon, where the biggest coffee company there has decided to move out because of crazy liberal cat ladies. Also, Zoran Mandami doing a faceplant before he even tried to succeed. Don't go anywhere.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. This is the final hour of the show today. I want to mention that my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World, and it is on Sunday nights on Newsmax at 8:30. Exactly where you'd expect a comedy show to be. It's actually after Michael Savage's show. Dr. Michael Savage, you know Dr. Michael Savage. He loves my show. He was on my radio program a couple years ago. He's not been on radio at all. He left radio, and he chose my show to return to radio a couple years ago. And he is a big fan of my show. So it's called Rob Carson's What in the World. It's on Newsmax, and it's on Sunday night at 8:30. Set your DVR if you get a chance to. It's I'll tell you, we're making some changes to it again. I'm building this new set to get my desk put up here, and then we'll be doing some cosmetic changes, hopefully adding some guests, man on the street kind of stuff, getting some younger influencers on the show, and really doing some cool stuff with it. But it is, I'm hitting my strides as a comedian and as a comedy writer. I am after many years. I got discovered by Chris Ruddy 6 years ago. So my career really started 6 years ago after 30 years in broadcasting. So anyway, just watch it. It's called Rob Carson's What in the World on Newsmax. This has been kind of making the rounds on social media. You know what we went through the last 4 years together, let alone the last decade, with the left attacking Donald Trump. Russia collusion now. Tulsi Gabbard has made criminal referrals with regard to Russia collusion. It goes all the way to the top of Barack Obama involved in creating the Russia collusion hoax to effectively do a coup of Donald Trump, distract from Hillary Clinton's abject corruption as she presided over the Uranium One deal as the Secretary of State, and then got $150 million from the investors in Uranium One. You didn't know that? Yeah, you do now. Yeah. She did. There were these investors who were shareholders in the company, who suddenly enriched her and old Willie with hundreds of millions of dollars into their bogus charity, their Clinton Global Initiative. And then they created Russia collusion to distract from all of that. But anyway, this has been kind of making the rounds. I wanted you to hear a little bit of this before we dive into what's happening in Fulton County.
Do you remember what it was like when the 2020 election was rigged and stolen? Do you remember all the bullshit stories people told you about how the fraudulent election would be overturned? Do you remember the symbols of tyranny when fences went up around D.C. for Joe Biden's inauguration?
Yeah.
Do you remember watching fuel and food prices skyrocket in a matter of months? Do you remember watching our borders being invaded by a virtual army of unidentified criminals? Do you remember watching our nation get systematically destroyed for 4 years by the Joe Biden auto pen administration?
I do.
Do you remember longing for the days of winning when we had Donald Trump in the White House? Do you remember thinking he was going to die when the bullet aimed at his brain only grazed his ear? Do you remember rejoicing after witnessing the miracle that saved his life? Do you remember celebrating the epic landslide victory in November of 2024? This is what you hoped for. This is what you prayed for. This is what you voted for.
Yep.
So why are you questioning every decision he makes now that he's back in office? God didn't save his life so he could make mistakes. He knows what he's doing.
I bet he does.
Maybe it's time to shut the up and let him cook. This has been a public service announcement paid for by the Dilly Meme Team.
Dilly Meme Team, there you go. I love that. And I will never forget. You and I never forgot after 2020 happened. They thought it would just disappear into the ether. And now the left is completely freaking out about the warehouse full of ballots in Fulton County, Georgia, that has been raided by the FBI. They're going nuts. They mentioned this woman.
What's going on? I'm going to give you the truth about what's happening. So they served a warrant, the FBI, this is Trump, serving a warrant to go pick up the 2020 ballots, which are in a secure location inside of here, 700 boxes. Yeah. The first warrant that they gave was incorrect legally, like they didn't follow.
Now, if the election had been settled and everything, and it was legit and all that, you shouldn't be concerned about it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They can't change the election results to overturn the election at this point. Why are you so scared?
Right procedure. They went back and they fixed it, and they came back and now they are actually collecting the boxes. Yeah. They are in the chain of command in Fulton County.
They're trying to make it like it's going to be intimidating for people who want to vote, like the changes they made to ensure election integrity in the state of Georgia, and the Democrats called it Jim Crow 2.0, and it winded up actually increasing the number of black voters.
Once they are archived, they become the possession of the clerk of Superior Court, which is Shay Alexander. She is here and she is with them inventorying everything that they're taking. We, the commissioners, the chairman, the county attorney, are trying to figure out a legal plan as to maybe an injunction, a motion to
Why? You can't overturn the election. They're just going to show the results, and if you said they've been already come through, then why do you care?
We don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out. We're getting all kinds
of... Why do you're talking even faster the more you go?
Legal advice to stop this, because once they have the ballots, how do we then turn around and do something different when they've already got their hands on it? So this is an attempt to take your vote away. This is all about November 2026.
So it's about November 2026, the election in 2020 that was already forgotten and settled, and all of that is suddenly relevant. It's going to affect 2026.
Primary on May 19th and then the November election. He does not want the...
Wow. I had mentioned earlier with Tony Kinnett that she kind of reminds me of Wayne Knight in Jurassic Park when he was about ready to steal the dinosaur embryos, and he was really nervous.
I'm going up to the machine. I thought maybe, I'd get somebody something, because I'm had all these sweets, and I think I'm going to get something salty. I thought maybe some...
Yeah. You know what? Here's the deal. If it was free and fair in the whole deal, you got nothing to worry about.
What did they have to hide? Yeah, it's amazing that 2020 was an anomaly, and Democrats squeaked by Joe Biden, who couldn't get out of his home and couldn't fill his COVID circles in 2020.
And then after he became the president, immediately afterwards, he did these live broadcasts on YouTube, and he couldn't get 1,000 people to watch, so they stopped doing them. He just got 88 million votes.
Somehow squeaked by.
He belongs on Mount Rushmore.
In Georgia.
Rushmore on.
And, they don't want to turn over the evidence, and they say, it's voter intimidation. How the hell is it voter intimidation to turn over ballots from 2020 that aren't tied to the voters? They are decoupled from the voter registration.
Yeah, there you go. That's Mike Davis. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard was present at the FBI search. You know why? Because she's there in case there was foreign interference. And the voting machines that were used in that election, they were from a company in Venezuela. Isn't it kind of weird that Donald Trump got Maduro? Do you suppose that he knows anything about that? Gabbard, the nation's top spy chief, has spent months investigating the results of the 2020 presidential election, led her to an FBI search of the election center in Fulton, Georgia. FBI agents sought records related to the 2020 presidential election. The warrant authorizing officials to search their physical ballots, voter rolls from that year, ballot images created by scanning ballots, tabulator tapes from every voting machine in the county. Investigation of possible violations of federal law against destroying election records, and another statute dealing with the submission of fraudulent votes, among other things. Federal law assigns DNI Gabbard and her office the responsibility to lead counterintelligence matters regarding election security, which includes assessing the potential risks of election voting systems, voter registration, and foreign interference. Specifically, 50 U.S.C. 337 authorized DNI to designate an overseas national counterintelligence officer within the National Counterintelligence and Security Center to lead, manage, and coordinate counterintelligence matters related to election security. In other words, she has every right to do it. And if you're so worried about it, I mean, honestly, if you're convinced everything was absolutely cool, why are you afraid of it? Why are you afraid of it? Generally means you're trying to cover something up. Here's Jim Gossett as the president on the Rob Carson Show.
They're gonna find election fraud down in Fulton County. Looking at 2020 when the steal took place.
Nothing happened. There's nothing to hide.
After it is proven, Bonnie Willis will look stupid.
Oh, she'll look good in orange, though.
Brian Kemp and Ratzenberg will not show their face.
Come on, Jim.
That water main break, yes, it was a total fake.
Yeah.
suitcases with ballots everywhere. Kemp was so weak he went and turned the other cheek. About the fraud he didn't seem to care.
Nope, didn't care at all.
Democrats aren't known for playing fair.
No, what you talking about,
Willis? They're gonna find election fraud down in Fulton County.
We will see. We will see. But you just look at everything that happened, and including the lead up to the election, they would tell you that there wasn't going to be any fraud. If you question any fraud, there was never any election fraud and all that. And then, of course, after the night where they stopped all the vote counting simultaneously at the same time, said that in Georgia that there was a water main break. There was no water main break. Honestly, if you were on the other side, if you're on the receiving end of that, don't you suppose you'd be mad about it? And we've had to swallow this for 6 frickin' years. We've had to sit here and have people tell us that everything was fair and everything was on the up and up. On top of that, we couldn't even have an opinion about it. We couldn't have an opinion about it. And then it segued into you can't have an opinion on COVID. You can't have an opinion on Hunter Biden's laptop. You can't have an opinion on Joe Biden's mental state. You cannot have an opinion on the border. You can have, and they took it on, they called it all disinformation and misinformation. And tell me if you were on the receiving end of that, and it was your opinions that were being shut down, don't you suppose you'd still be mad about it? Well, welcome to the party, people. This is the retribution. This is the accountability that we have waited for, that has been in the back of our minds every single day, focused, determined that someday we would be delivered and we would be shown the truth, and this would be exposed. From this to Russia collusion, all the going up to Barack Obama, all of the horrible things that the deep state did to our president and us. Payback is finally here. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
680 WCBM.
Gotta rejoin.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
This was censored.
Let me say it again.
The 2020 election was the most secure
election in American history.
Yeah.
Let me begin by asking a very simple question. Do we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election?
I think millions of Americans know something went wrong, and they have little pieces, and no one's really put it together.
I'm agnostic on this question, and I am awaiting more information.
If I believed the president were a Nazi, I might steal an election.
Bold accusations require bold evidence, and they haven't seen it.
We have been working on something big.
Show me the money.
Can we meet? I've been working with Greg Phillips. He has a deep background in election intelligence.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections.
One of the most censored movies of all time, 2000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza. Everything was censored about the 2020 election. You couldn't have an opinion on it. You couldn't say that maybe the elections aren't fair in this country. Remember that? If you were on the receiving end of that, don't you think you would wonder? Don't you think you would question? Don't you think you would go, why did they stop the voting, counting the night of the election when Donald Trump was way out in front, and then all of a sudden millions of votes show up overnight? I mean, honestly, it's not out of the question to question, right? But we couldn't. And that was what was so bloody, stinking, frustrating, humiliating, and we had to eat it. And we had to eat it for years. We had to eat it on Joe Biden's dementia. We had to eat it on the southern border, screaming the damn border is wide open and people are dying. All of this, that's why Donald Trump is the president of the United States. And he is also the only man who could have survived and made it there. And now we want accountability. Kevin in Clinton, Maryland wants to comment about this. Kevin, welcome to the Rob Carson Show.
Hey, Rob. First of all, shout out to my Rumble family.
Oh.
And secondly, Rob.
Yes.
We are now seeing a level of accountability with these election votes, the 2020 election. Don Lemon being arrested today. Could you imagine if this was any other? And Donald Trump is not a Republican; he is a conservative.
Yeah.
First of all,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Second of all, none of these Bush League Republicans would have ever went this far.
Yeah.
This is why this man is president again.
Yeah.
Because conservatives got tired of getting punched in the face
Yes, sir.
and told, could we have another?
Yeah.
Republicans love doing that. Conservatives do not.
Kevin, you know as well as I do. Tell me, give me, you're a conservative. You know how hard it has been the last 10 years, let alone the last 6. It's been agonizing.
I know how hard it's been the last 25 years.
But hasn't it? But with Donald Trump and the pursuit of Donald Trump and our censorship and all that, I mean, it's been brutal. That's why we got so focused. That's why we were so focused. That's why Donald Trump won 99 counties in Iowa. That's why Donald Trump. There was no sense in having a primary because he was going to be the candidate, right?
That is absolutely correct. Yeah. He was going to be the candidate no matter what, Rob. Yeah. Because, like I said, conservatives got tired of being told by Bush League Republicans that we had to allow Democrats to punch them in the face and ask for another.
Yeah.
This man is not weak. As me and my friends say, and we are conservatives of color, this man is a bare-knuckle brawler in the streets of Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
He is not from Kennebunkport, Maine. Kennebunkport. He's not Susan Collins, and he's not the Turtle.
You know what's remarkable, Kevin, and I'm very familiar with the inner city, particularly inner city black community, but the Democrat Party has been abusive of black people relying on their votes for decades, and they're finally wise to it and realizing that Donald Trump is he's an alpha male, he's a strong man, he's a righteous man. And also, I think there's also a spiritual element to this moment in history. Do you believe that?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, Rob. This is change being effected. not talking about change, not giving you false hope or any of those other platitudes and slogans. This is real change going on within multiple communities in
Kevin,
America.
yes, earlier this week when Donald Trump said he's going to put away $1,000 for every kid in America, did he say no black kids? Maybe I missed that because I heard he was a racist and a Nazi.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, the NAACP used to give this man awards, and I had pictures of him with broken heart.
I know. Well, you know what this is about. And I got to tell you, and I appreciate your phone call today, Kevin.
No problem.
But don't you feel like there is a spiritual awakening as far as, and also just this, I think this movement is a godly movement. I think it is the reaction to the action of evil. And look at all the evil that's being uncovered, all of the corruption, all of the graft, all of the nonsense, all of the deep state going after conservatives and Donald Trump. And don't you just feel like, I just think 2026 is going to be the best year that we've had on this planet, brother.
I believe that because guess what? God bless America, and we're 250 years old, and you're talking to a former Navy veteran. So,
thank you, my friend.
It is what it is.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Hey, man, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. We're going to do something. We're working on something now. Nothing has been settled. I got a couple things going on this year. One thing is for sure, WCBM, our anchor station in Baltimore, we're going to depart with luxury coaches in June, can't tell you the date yet, and go to Gettysburg, spend the day at Gettysburg, tour the battlefields, have lunch, the whole deal. It's going to be amazing. Then we're working on another trip with you guys, anywhere in the country, and we're trying to decide where we're going to go. We don't even know. But I have suggested coming here to Washington, D.C., because it's a 250th anniversary, and having you guys, if you ever wanted to come into D.C., to come and spend a few days with me in Washington, D.C., tour the monuments, go to the, wherever, the White House, go whatever, go all of the monuments, all of that, experience it all, because I've lived here many, many years, and then maybe do the show live with you in the audience. How cool would that be? I'm just working on it. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. A trip's going to happen. I suggested D.C. would be a great place to do it. So we need to be together this year. We are together in the ether. You hear my voice. I see you. I hear you. Now maybe it's our opportunity to get together and celebrate because we've been through a lot of crap. All right, let's take a break and come back. Another one of our unusual suspects, Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto, on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
When you're a man who calls himself a girl, it can be a bonus. When you compete with women, you have to hide. Ooh, that pair of cojones. I can cycle against the girls, that's my choice. I can steal their medals with this manly voice, 'cause the left makes me feel The left makes me feel. The left makes me feel like a transgender woman. When I compete with females, I'm the one that's feared. 'Cause I'm the only person in the race with a beard. But somehow I feel the left makes me feel. They make me feel like a transgender woman. Yes, they have no Maduro. They have no Maduro today. They bombed him and grabbed him. The CIA nabbed him. In handcuffs he was hauled away. Maduro has been indicted, and Venezuelans are excited because they have no Maduro. And they thank the U.S. of A. Nicholas has been captured. His freedom's been taken away. Maduro is so vile, his wife will stand trial. We are gonna make them pay. Yes, they have no Maduro. They have no Maduro today.
It's the Rob Carson Show, Friday edition. One of our unusual suspects, the great Christian Toto from Hollywood and Toto on the Newsmax Hotline. Breaking news today, obviously the passing of Catherine O'Hara, one of my comedic heroes. I've got several of them. You know, I write comedy, one of the things that I do, Christian. And, man, she was just remarkable. I remember her doing SCTV with Eugene Levy. That's where they started. And then it's just been nonstop ever since, hasn't it?
Nonstop, year after year, decade after decade, just giving great performances. And obviously Schitt's Creek is already a kind of a modern classic.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you know, it's she's one of those very rare performers who was, you know, just had endless talent, was beloved, didn't insult audiences, delivered in different ways for different generations. I mean, you could point to Home Alone, you could point to SCTV. You know, I believe she's on The Studio as well. Which I haven't caught up with
Best in
yet,
Show. Best in Show is as good as Spinal Tap. A different kind of feeling to it, but phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Best in Show.
You know, some celebrities, when they are sick, I don't know exactly. I've heard rumors, so I don't want to repeat what she may have because we don't know yet for sure. But you know, maybe they keep it quiet and they have a private life, and I certainly respect that completely. But just an absolute gut punch. What a wonderful performer.
Well, she was only 71 years old. It's just, I don't know. I'm really, really sad. I'm really, really sad.
Yeah.
Because there are great comedic actors, and a lot of times, like one of my heroes was Steve Martin from when I was a little kid. He used to listen to his records. But Catherine O'Hara was, and like Madeline Kahn. Madeline Kahn she's Madeline Kahn, dude. She might even be better than Madeline Kahn. Madeline Kahn was unbelievable. Gilda Radner, phenomenal, died too soon. Catherine O'Hara is right up there, maybe eclipsing both of them.
I would say eclipse, but also they had, she had much more time. And listen, she's 71. I wish she would live to 91. But those artists died really shockingly soon. But singular talents, all of them, and she leaves a body of work which will stand the test of time. It's the great performers. They're not just of the moment. They didn't just ride the zeitgeist or. I'm going to pick a little bit on Pauly Shore, but Pauly Shore's comedy is not going to go down as a legendary. No. He's some Hollywood fabric. Listen, he is what he is. He made us laugh. He's a goofy guy. I have no problem with Pauly Shore, but, there are certain talents that just transcend. Catherine O'Hara transcends.
Well, if you look at like Steve Martin, Steve Martin now, he's doing A Murder in the Building. Okay, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. But he has done everything. And he's even like a bluegrass singer. He's a banjo player. He's all of this, all the goofy movies, the good movies, from L.A. Story to what. So if you can do this, if you can do comedy this long and comic acting this long, it's rare air, brother. That is rare air.
You're right, and I think comedy lands differently in many levels. It's often tied to what the cultural moment might be. A drama is a drama, and you could watch it on any decade. Certain things will be dated, but the core of it remains intact. It's the human condition. But comedy can rely on what's in vogue, maybe pop culture references. There's so many variables. Sometimes comedy just doesn't age well.
Well, I was watching Mel Brooks' History of the World last night. And it's a very funny movie, but it's also very shticky. And some people will be like, okay, it's a little same way with the Star Wars parody that he did. But Blazing Saddles is evergreen. Blazing Saddles is still as funny as it ever was.
Fan of some of his work. It is hit or miss, although the hits are just incredible. But it's a great point.
Unbelievable. Here's something kind of interesting, and I was thinking about this the other day, and this is a chick flick supreme, but it's also the movie of a generation, Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing, chick flick, certainly. I think, in high school when the movie came out. It was a cultural phenomenon. I've had the time of my life, a massive hit that I played 100,000 times on the radio, and I never want to hear it again. But it was a generational movie, and it also transcends to different generations. Now Jennifer Grey is talking about Dirty Dancing 2. Like Top Gun 2 45 years later. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's unbelievable. It's almost cartoonish how they're trying to extend these IPs, which don't need to be extended. We've said at least 2 Dirty Dancing sequels or remakes or prequels or something or others, and no one cares. And listen, no insult to Jennifer Grey, but it's a two-hander. It's 2 characters who are integral to that movie, and it's so sad we lost Patrick Swayze so soon.
I know.
But what are they going to possibly do? Is she going to be the mother?
She's got to be there. She's got to be at a Jewish summer camp, and she's got to be there with the daughter, and she's going to be with a biker, and she's not going to like it.
Not one bit. I know when I was your age, I did the wrong thing, but I've learned, and I need to teach. Listen, anything can happen. It could be a good movie, but it just reeks of flop sweat.
No. It's just, and listen, I thought Top Gun was okay, but that you couldn't even say the bad guys in the dark planes were Iranian. I thought that was kind of stupid. We're just like, just some guys who might have a nuke. I mean, that was just stupid. That was just dumb. That's the only thing about that movie I really thought was stupid. Just ridiculously stupid.
You could get attacked for that. It's a beloved movie.
Yeah, I know, but not the new one. Melania, have you seen Melania?
No, I actually requested a screening link. They did not give it to me. Don't they know who I am?
Well, I wanted to go to the Trump Kennedy Center, and I didn't get invited on the red carpet. What the hell's wrong with you people? You not know who I am?
They're missing out on two big stars here, so I blame them.
Now, did you hear what happened in the Los Angeles Metro? The buses that had the ads for Melania have been parked. Mm-hmm. They say they've been parking the buses so people will not see the bus boards. Now the Metro, the Metro whatever transportation company in LA says it's because they've been being vandalized. Others are saying, nah, they just are blocking the ads from being seen. Have you heard anything about this?
I haven't. I suspect it could even be both. But I will say this, and I'm actually staring at my computer screen right now. I checked the Rotten Tomatoes site for Melania to see the reviews. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get lots of great reviews from my fellow film critics. Two things of note. One is, on the main page for Rotten Tomatoes, they don't show Melania. There's a whole carousel of movies opening this week. I checked yesterday. I just checked now. You don't see it, so they're hiding it. Two, there's a critic here. He's given it a negative review. There's the little splat symbol here. And I clicked on his website to read the full review. And what does he say?
What?
He says, full disclosure, this is the very top, I will never watch Melania.
Wow.
So here's a film critic who gave it a negative review, posted it at RottenTomatoes.com, and admits he never saw the movie.
What an a-hole.
And never will.
What an a-hole. I mean, honestly, but what the hell?
I'll just say he's wildly unprofessional.
I can't even believe it. You know, this is the kind of nonsense that is just... And this is why, I used to be a fan of Rotten Tomatoes. I went to Rotten Tomatoes. It was my go-to. It gave me an idea. But I'm just kind of done with it. I'm kind of done with it. This really does it. This is just ridiculous. This is absurd.
Well, I belong to Rotten Tomatoes, like they post my reviews. But I have to say, I don't blame the site. I blame the critics. I mean, the critics are, judging things so harshly based on ideology. Listen, if Michelle Obama comes out with a movie, and she actually did a couple years ago called Becoming, I did not see it. Yes. But if I watched it, I thought, this is interesting, and it kept my attention. It's got some interesting things to say about her life, even though I disagree with her on everything.
Yes.
I wouldn't give it a bad review because I'm a professional. Yeah. And you've got to be honest and open and authentic. Yeah. And if you're saying I will never even watch the movie, well, you're okay, but you're a film critic and you can't review it.
Well, honestly,
simple rule.
That's just why even do it? Why even do what you do for a living? You're going to do something like that. What an asinine thing to do. I wanted to keep you through the break because I want to find out if there's anything worth watching. And then also I want to mention Grammys real quick. I love music. I'm not going to watch the show, but I love music. I want to touch on that on the other side of the break. HollywoodandToto.com. Seriously, check out HollywoodandToto.com. He actually sees movies and does reviews before he does that. He sees them. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. 2, 1.
Where the hell is my husband? What is taking him so long?
Ray. If you haven't heard this before, get ready for it because it's friggin' amazing. Oh my goodness. That is Ray. Now, I think she was a little bit late on the 2026 Grammy nominees, but she came out of nowhere and is just mind-blowing. You've heard of her, Christian Toto? Have you heard of Ray?
I haven't. I am really bad with modern music. I am sliding away. So
that's okay. That's okay.
It's all my fault.
We'll talk about Scott Joplin next week or something like that. No, Ray is really amazing. Ray is like she meets Amy Winehouse meets Beyonce meets Dusty Springfield meets friggin' brilliant. I'm not going to watch the Grammys this year. I wanted to bring it up because there is a lot of good music being made, and there are some artists who are kind of looking like complete idiots. Bruce Springsteen wrote a stupid song about Minneapolis, shooting his mouth off before the facts were in on the death of 2 people who confronted ICE officers. Did you see that song? It's called Streets of Minneapolis as opposed to Streets of Philadelphia. He did when the movie Philadelphia with Tom Hanks came out in the early 90s.
Yeah, listen, what can we say about Springsteen at this point? He's so disappointing on so many levels.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the song. I read the lyrics. I mean,
it's terrible.
Annoying. And it's like he wrote it in a rush. And what's sad is these artists are just living in a bubble. It's a silo. Yeah. They just don't get any outside information.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that they're insulting ICE agents, many of whom are people of color, and many of whom are being harassed and attacked. Wasn't there an agent who got a finger bit off or part of a finger?
Oh, yeah, got his finger bit off. Yeah.
Did that make national news, or did they ignore that completely? Like,
I was thinking about this earlier. Green Day, and I mentioned this to Tony Kinnett earlier. Green Day did an album called American Idiot when George Bush was the president. I disagreed with their premises, although I've changed my mind a lot on George Bush. Don't trust me on this one. But it was actually a great record. He was a really American Idiot. It was really good. This is just grasping at straws. That said, I want to move on to Bad Bunny and Green Day. You got Green Day opening the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny halftime. I wonder if this is the year that politics really impacts the Super Bowl viewership in a negative fashion.
It's a great question. I don't know. I mean, listen, even if Green Day was MAGA all the way, I wouldn't want them to come on stage in the Super Bowl and wear a red hat. Yeah. It's just not appropriate. We're just so bludgeoned by politics in every possible point of our lives.
Yeah.
We just need a break. So if Bad Bunny wants to go sing a song, let him. The numbers are there. He's a big performer. I don't care. And he was threatening to wear a dress. Now he's not. Just entertain us, and you know what? Unite us.
Yeah,
because the Super Bowl is like the last thing that we can all watch and all agree on and all enjoy and not fight over. Can't we keep that?
I think this would be the year. This would be the year that, like Whitney Houston, they just celebrated the 35th anniversary of her singing the national anthem, and everybody just wept. It was the most beautiful thing you've seen. And we are seeing those kind of performances happening all over the NFL. And this would be the year to have somebody like Chris Stapleton or somebody just come in and just do something that is earth-shattering and you will never forget. And then they put Green Day at the beginning of the show. I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to watch. I mean, and I'm not boycotting. I'm not demanding a boycott. I'm not really interested. I'm just not interested, really. And they're talking about a TPUSA halftime. You can watch a TPSU. I don't know about this. I'm not sure. They haven't offered a lineup. I don't even know.
Yeah, and I get why that exists, and I just don't want it to exist. No offense on TPUSA, but I just want to live in a world where we just all come together and enjoy things and stop fighting.
Listen to Ray. She's not political. Listen to Where the Hell's My Husband. It's a great damn song. Anything good worth watching this weekend? I noticed you didn't say, hey, Rob, I watched an episode of Pluribus. I noticed we avoided that. I've been bugging you about watching it forever. I finished the first season. Holy hell. It's so good. It's good.
All right, I'm going to change the subject because I'm so busy watching so many movies and really good movies in theaters this weekend.
What?
It's called Send Help. It's Sam Raimi, who did the Evil Dead movies.
Yes.
He's a really fun, interesting, wacky director. About 2 people who are stranded on a desert island. the boss of a company, and his underling, he is always dismissing her. But you know what? She's a Survivor fan, and she knows how to, make a fire and survive and catch fish, and he doesn't. And that dynamic shifts. It is incredibly entertaining. It is fun. It is gory at times. Sam Raimi is a little wacky.
Oh, yes.
And so you have to expect that, but good storytelling. Let me tell you, Dylan O'Brien is a very underrated actor, but boy, Rachel McAdams just hits it out of the park as this mousy woman who blossoms when she's on this island. So
and I love this. I love it because he's such an a-hole. And they land on the island. I've seen the trailers for this. Good to know, because I really want to, and Raimi is one of my favorites. Bruce Campbell is one of my all-time favorite actors of all. I mean, just phenomenal. Does he make a cameo anywhere? Is he a pilot or anything?
You got to keep your eyes open. He appears in a certain way early in the film. It's very funny.
Really? All right, good. We're ending things on a high note. Christian Toto, thanks for joining me, man. Where can people check out your podcast and all of your work, my friend?
Podcast is on iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify, and the website is HollywoodIN Toto, like the dog.com.
I'm going to go see Send Help. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll talk next week. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Send Help. Send Help looks really good. Send Help looks really good. I'm going to bribe my son right now about that. Hi, guys. Send Help. All right. Who's watching here? Smooches, everyone. Love ya. See ya, bro. Dookie Bear. See ya. Good to see ya. Sunday night. Good to have you guys watching today. I appreciate you very, very, very much. I'm writing my son. Are you going to see Send Help this weekend? My son is a huge movie fan, and when I was in Washington, D.C., I was growing up, I used to do movie premieres. All of them. Transformers. Every movie from 2005 to 2013, I took him to and introduced them, threw T-shirts to the audience, the whole deal. And he grew up in movies, and he loves movies, and I take credit for it. Thank you very much. I do. Blockbuster, hello. America Marcy, hello. Missy C1G, good. Beer and popcorn for everyone. I'll do the popcorn. Hell yeah. Mickey Hastings, great show. Rob, yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? Wasn't it a good show? Really have enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying everything, guys. I'm really enjoying being with you guys, and I'm very blessed, and I'm beginning to feel the blessings a millionfold. So I'm motivated to do everything I can every day to come in here and give you the best show possible. That's what I do. It's what I try to do. Here we go. I got to talk. Hold on.
Hear the news, then talk about it at the top and bottom of every hour throughout the day. Breaking news, stimulating talk. Only on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Here we go.
99.9 FM in Harford County.
Yeah, 310.
Okay. All right. It is the Rob Carson Show. Last break today. If you get a chance to watch my TV show, it's called Rob Carson's What in the World. Sunday night. It's a half hour. I'm hoping we can be able to make it bigger. But anyway, it's Sunday night at 8:30 on Newsmax TV. Newsmax. You should watch Newsmax. We got a lot of comments on the chat online today about all the people. People say, I watch this. I watch Higbee, and then I tune out of the View. I don't like, or not the View, but I tune out of the Five, whatever, and I tune back in for Rob Finnerty. I tune in for Carl Higbee and all that. It really is a wonderful place to work, and they're growing by leaps and bounds around the world. Newsmax is spreading around the world like freedom is spreading around the world. And I got on board Newsmax 6 years ago. I'm one of their, one of the guys who've been there for a number of years, and I feel really blessed to be a part of it. And Chris Ruddy runs a great company, and I'm really proud to be here in Washington D.C. with Newsmax. So if you get a chance to check out Newsmax on cable, get a Newsmax Plus membership. That's how I listen to Newsmax when I'm in my truck. Newsmax Plus membership. It's really awesome. It's really cool. I also watch Newsmax on YouTube TV at night as well. New Epstein Files release show. Bill Gates caught an STD from a Russian girl. He's such a nice guy. Tidal wave of new taxes in Virginia. I did a video on social media today with regard to this. There's a crazy Karen named Abigail Spamberger, and she was elected in Virginia. She lied to become elected, and she pretended to be somebody else, and now she is the governor. And I suggested online today that when a party establishes a platform to run on, they have a convention, they meet, they decide what they're going to run on, they present it to the public, and the public votes on it. The Democrat Party did not do that this time. They did not. They ran on something else, and they bait and switched, and this cannot be legal. This cannot be legal. This has to be challenged. And she is a bat, guano, crazy, nutbag, cat lady from hell. They're talking about getting rid of all this green energy bullcrap. They're talking about raising tax to 13% for just the state tax. They're talking about getting rid of your leaf blowers, all the green energy nonsense, all sorts of gun restrictions that are absolutely unconstitutional, stealing elections, quantifying election theft, allowing NGOs to get millions and millions and billions of money for charities and not ever be scrutinized for their expenses like in Minnesota. It's sick. She lied. The reason why the Communist Party is not in charge is because they present who they are. And then you vote on it, and they say, no, the Democrat Party is the Communist Party in Virginia, and they lied about who they are. It cannot be legal. It cannot stand. That's it. Watch my show Sunday night on Newsmax. God bless you, America's founder, Donald Trump, as he continues to kick butt until Monday. Do not catch the stupid. God bless you guys. I love you. I'll see you then.
All right, Robbie, have a good weekend.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.